I got into CrossFit when I was 13. My dad started doing CrossFit at a gym that was like 30 minutes away. He eventually got my mom to start going. They started working out in the garage, and they kept trying to get me to go out there. Like, it'll help you with these other sports. And I was working out, did it for fun. It's kind of dumb. I'll keep going to practice. It wasn't for me. And then my dad started trying to get me to watch the CrossFit Games documentaries, the Froning documentary, all of these really cool pieces of media that CrossFit would put out about the CrossFit Games. And it wasn't until the 2015 CrossFit Games when there was the first year of the teenage division, and I was immediately hooked on the idea that you could compete in this. And so I started working out in the garage the next day, and then January 2016 is when I finally went to a gym for the first time. My first workout was Annie with double unders and sit-ups, and it just haven't looked back since. So I started January 2016 at that gym, Spanish Fort CrossFit, and the Open was a month or two later. So I'd kind of been doing it on my own in the garage, and then like 1 month at a gym with a real coach. And so the Open comes around, I still sign up. I come in like 124th, I think. I can't remember how many people were competing. It was like, all right, this is a good step in the right direction. And then the next year in the Open, when I was 15, so I was a little bit older in the division, it's 14-15 division, I think I was able to place 5th. And that's kind of when I knew like I could definitely make the games. And then the age group qualifier 2017 rolls around, and I placed 3rd. So it was like I go from 5th to 3rd. I'm like, oh, I could win this thing. And I was like, we're gonna go for it. And that's what I trained that summer for. And that was my only goal that summer, and ended up being able to pull off a win for my first year.
Comes in a championship for Pepper here on the final day of the 2017 CrossFit Games.
After the first year in 2017, it was like, okay, I've got 1 win. And we kind of seen a pattern in the teenage division where it was like, they can win when they're 15. Sometimes they can take like top 5 or podium when they're 16 in the younger side of the division, and then they win again when they're 17. And so I was like, I'm gonna win when I'm 16. I was like, I don't care if I'm the youngest. I was able to win that year again, and then it was, no one had won 3 times, so it was like, we're going for the 3-peat to finally get it. And I think as of right now, I'm the only one to win 3 times, but it was also, there's been girls that like could have, but they just compete individual, so they were much better than me at that point.
Dallin Pepper.
Making the transition from teens to individual, it felt like I had just started CrossFit over again. I remember specifically one day, it was like early 2019 when like early morning workouts for baseball were starting, and then the football field, the snow was starting to melt. So like all my buddies I grew up playing baseball with were out playing long toss, getting their arms ready for the season. And I was like driving past them to go home and go to the gym. And I was like, man, I kind of want to be out there with my friends again. And so I made the decision to go play baseball that year, and I wouldn't change it. Like, I'd be out there with all my buddies playing high school sports, and like getting that experience where I didn't think I was going to get that because I had stopped playing those sports. It was super valuable to me, and that's when a lot of those teenagers in the sport, we see them like struggling with burnout and that type of thing. And I think playing those sports kind of like reignited the fire for CrossFit again after I was done playing that, and I wouldn't change any of those experiences for the world. So.